Say hi, everybody. Say hi. AJ's just yeah, he's just woken up from his nap. I managed to get his update done while he was asleep, but I'm going to do his breastfeeding one, and AJ is going to help me. Aren't you? Hey. Gonna help Mum? Yeah? He can see himself on the laptop. So this is going to be my breastfeeding video, just to let everybody know how the first 6 months of breastfeeding has gone for us. Hey buddy. Yeah. So right before he was like born or even conceived, I had always wanted to and hoped that I would be able to breastfeed my children, and you know, I really wanted to breastfeed AJ because of a lot of reasons. It's cheap, like free, there's no like cost involved, and I wanted to be able to bond with him and know that he was getting, I guess, the right amount of nutrients that he would need from me. So those were my reasons for wanting to breastfeed. And so yeah, when he was first born, I mean, it was hard. It was hard because, like, it's not as easy as it looks. Other people who have been doing it for, you know, more than a couple of months, or have had previous children, and sort of, I guess, can get back into the swing of it, hopefully with no issues. I mean, I know it's not easy for everybody, every time they have a child. But yeah, it was definitely hard, and because he was quite small, it was a bit sort of like, you know, like, how do I do this? So, like, before my milk came in, he was feeding, and I mean, it was hard to sort of get him to latch those first sort of few days, because I mean, he's learning and I'm learning, and you know, it's just sort of all the tiredness and everything plays a role too. And my milk came in on day 4, and that was horrendous. That was horrendous. Oh my god, that was so horrible. It was really bad, and I felt crap because postpartum blues kicked in then too, which turned into depression for me. But yeah, my milk came in, and it was like a flood. Like, by that stage, he was starting to get a really strong latch and a really strong, like, suck, like, super strong suck, to the point where he would suck, and end up overfilling himself because he was going so fast, and he would spill everywhere. Like, he's definitely not as bad as spilling these days, but I think the solids help with that. But he was a really spilly baby. He would just spill everywhere, and was really windy and burpy, and what are you doing? Yeah, you're talking over me, are you? Can I tell the story? Yeah, so that was hard, and it was hard on wanting TMI ahead. My nipples got really badly damaged because of his strong suck, and because I had not been told about any care to give my nipples before I had him, to make them, like, less, I guess, vulnerable to tearing and all that sort of stuff. So I ended up with, I think by the time my milk had come in, my nipples were like bleeding and cracked, and I was putting cream and stuff on them, but it was just getting worse and worse, and I ended up having to go and get this ozone treatment done on them, and there's a lot of scar tissue, because I ended up with 2 big craters, 1 in each, which was lovely, and they took a long time to heal. They took about 7 weeks to finally heal up, and day 6 I got mastitis in my right breast, and that was horrendous as well because I got fever and everything, so I was on 10 days of antibiotics for that. So combined with my milk had just come in, the baby blues were turning into depression, and I got mastitis, and I was fluey and sleep deprived. It was, I have to say, it was really hard to not give up on breastfeeding and just be like, oh, like there were so many times I would just think, oh my god, I just want to, oh screw this, I'm done with breastfeeding, you can just have a bottle. But I had to keep reminding myself that of all the reasons why I wanted to breastfeed in the first place. For the first 10 days, couple of weeks, I was, because I had to express all the time because of the mastitis, and because I was, you know, like fully engorged all the time, and because I was so exhausted, I would express like during the day and things, and then at night I would feed him from a bottle, the express milk, like when he woke up in the middle of the night, because he was waking up like, I think it was like once, 2 or 3 times. So, and because I was so exhausted, that meant that like my mum could, because she stayed with me for the first sort of week, and then my sister was here also, they could like feed him while I tried to get some sleep. But then by the time the 2-week mark came, I was sick of getting up and trying to deal with bottles and warming it, and he would be, you know, upset because he would be hungry, want it straight away. So by the end of the 2-week mark, I decided, screw this. So I gave up on the bottles and just started to breastfeed him at night, and that worked a lot better. I think because like the mastitis was gone, and I had gone down to my mum's place for a couple of weeks, from when he was 2 weeks old. He and I went down and stayed with my mum for 2 weeks because I was just not coping. But my husband couldn't come because he had to earn money and, you know, pay bills, so he had to stay here. But while I was down there, I was able to, you know, have that extra support, and extra help, and he got into this really good nighttime sort of routine that he's still pretty much in now, where he started sleeping for like 6 or 7 hours and then waking up for a feed. Like, so once I was able to get more sleep at night, and he was, you know, sleeping for a longer stretch, and I wasn't so exhausted, it was easier for me to breastfeed at night, and I felt more confident and more just at ease about doing that. So I just stopped using bottles and stuff. But I'll still express sometimes now. I express every now and then just to keep this freezer stash, you know, with enough there, pretty much. So yeah, the mastitis cleared by like 2 weeks. It's gone, and I'd finished all my antibiotics, and everything was good in that respect. My nipples were starting to clear. My right side had which had become like the worst, healed up quite fast and quite quickly, and was fine. But the left side, I don't know what happened, because I would get it, I got to the point, this was like between 2 and 4 weeks, that I would be so afraid to put him on the left side, because when he would latch, I would get this shooting spasm pain go right through my left breast and down my spine, and it would hurt so bad. I would cry. Like, I would, like, you know, hesitate putting him on. Like, I'd be like, oh no, I can't do it, and you know, I'd have to count. I'd be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and do it, like, try and get it done real fast, because the first, like, initial, like, 3, you know, like, sucks when he latched, was, the shooting pain was horrendous, and it, like, I would sit there in tears. So that was not fun. So that was really hard, and yeah, it wasn't until like the 7-week mark that they were finally both healed, and I didn't get the spasm pains anymore. I'm wondering, I might have, like, I don't know where the huge crater hole was. I'm wondering if there was it had hit a nerve or something, or a nerve was bare, or I don't know. Because yeah, I used to get the shooting and spasm pain. It was horrible. So yeah, so then I came home, and breastfeeding continued to be fine, and it got easier. It got easier, and it was just a matter of confidence, and once all those issues that seemed to crop up one after the other after it was born, once they'd all, like, gone out of the way, and I was feeling better about myself as a mother and as well as a person, then it was a lot easier. And, like, once I felt more confident in things, I mean, of course, he recognised the change, and pretty crazy about it, eh, buddy? And so yeah. But I mean, since the first sort of 8 weeks of breastfeeding were really hard because of all the issues that cropped up with the depression, the mastitis, the you know, the damage done to my nipples. Excuse me. After that, it was kind of smooth sailing, really. And then at the 3.5, 4 month mark, between the 3 and 4 month mark, oh no, at 10 weeks old, he had an appointment with the Plunkett nurse. He's just biting on my finger with this too. Julie. And he had not gained a lot of weight since the previous visit 2 weeks prior. Oh, that's a bit silly. Oh, look at all those spits. You're doing spitties. That's not very nice. That's a little bit rude. He had not gained a lot of weight, and the particular nurse was quite actually critical of me. Said, well, you must not be feeding him right, your diet's probably shit, and, like, pretty much my confidence as a mum took another shot, and I thought, oh my god, like, I honestly I felt like, oh my god, what am I doing to him? Like, am I starving him? Am I not, you know? But to that point, I had just been feeding him off 1 breast per feed, because that was enough for him at that point, but obviously it was getting to the point where it wasn't enough, and he, thank you for sharing, my darling, he obviously was needing more, so I started to feed him off both breasts per feed, and, oh, that made a huge difference. he gained weight really well, and his sleeping during the day got better as well. So I was definitely feeding on demand. And oh, careful, buddy. And oh, I know. You darling. Oh, this is no good. It's a poor baby. You've got a bubble on your head. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, this is so sad. This is so sad, aren't you? Got your fishy? You have your fishy? Oh. Yeah, so I was pretty much criticised, and then, oh, your poor head, your poor big head. Yeah, this particular nurse, who I don't see anymore, I only saw her the once, yeah, sort of criticised me and recommended formula and things, but I honestly, at that point, I had thought, no, I have overcome, you know, all these issues with my breasts in the first, 6 weeks of his life. I don't want to give in totally, but I mean, my confidence took a real shot in the league, and I had to sort of, it did take a lot of courage at that point to also be like, no, I'm not going to give up on this. So I just sort of changed the way I was feeding him, and that made a lot of difference, and that's sort of still the routine we stick to today. Like, I mean, it sort of alters. I just go by what he wants and all that sort of stuff. He tells me. So yeah, that was sort of hard. And then it was fine. Everything was fine, and until about the 3 or 4 month mark, and I had a snag again, and he was getting really, like, I would feed him, and he would only stay on each breast for like 2 minutes, and he would still be like cranky afterwards, and I thought, oh my god, like, is my supply going down now? Like, oh great, but again, I just sort of had to alter the way I was feeding him, like, I think because I'd sort of gotten to, like, by then he wasn't feeding very, like, he was feeding like every few hours or something, but obviously he wasn't getting enough or something. But careful, please. But yeah, so just made more little alterations and things, and it got better again, and it was at that 4 month hitch that I did buy formula to see if that would do anything, but he hated it. Don't like formula. So that was fun. Oh, bless you. But we got over that snag, didn't we, buddy? We made it, eh? And yeah, come Wednesday it's going to be 6 months of breastfeeding, and I'm really proud of myself for doing it. I've definitely learned a lot of lessons about breastfeeding, and the fact that it's not easy. It's an art that you and your baby need to learn together, and sometimes it works really well for people and they have no issues and it's smooth sailing. Sometimes there are a few bumps in the road before you hit a glide that works for you, and sometimes it's not right for mother and baby, for whatever reason, whatever situation. Oh, careful, honey. So yeah, I've definitely learned a lot of lessons, and I've definitely learned a few things that to keep in mind for when we do have another child. You know, like while I'm still pregnant, to put cream and things on my nipples beforehand, to like moisten, to get them like ready and things so that they don't receive the damage, and you know, to really look after myself. So I mean, I've definitely a lot of lessons have been learnt, a lot of things have been discovered that I never knew about in regards to breastfeeding. But I have to say, I think we're a pretty good team, and we do really well, don't we, buddy? And I'm glad to be able to say that I've made it to 6 months of breastfeeding, and I hope to do another 6 months, and then that'll probably be the end of it. Hey. Yeah. Because once he's a year old, he can go to cow's milk, so instead of trying to transition him from breast milk to formula and then to cow's milk, I'm probably just going to transition him very slowly and carefully to straight to cow's milk, because he doesn't like formula, and so I don't think he'll take it. So, so yeah, that's been 6 months of breastfeeding. Definitely the first couple of months were probably the roughest, and I mean, I just have to remember that, I mean, you're good about it, eh? He's just, he knows what he's doing now, and it's just time, it's time and patience, and it is hard to have the patience at the beginning, especially when you are exhausted and sleep deprived, and you know, they're constantly rock hard, and you know, all these different things. It's hard to have the patience and to keep a cool, you know, vibe so that the baby doesn't get upset. It's definitely time, and it's really good to have the support as well. Like, I have great support from my mum and my husband, especially about breastfeeding, and I just, yeah, it's important to be able to do that, and to be able to get help where you need it for any breastfeeding issues, or issues to do with, you know, your breasts and stuff in general, like infections and such, and to get onto them quick. So, yeah. Wow, I've talked for 25 minutes. I hope that wasn't boring, but that has been my 6 months of breastfeeding journey so far. And if I make it to a year, then yay for us. Hey. And I feel really grateful that I have been able to do it, and I don't take it for granted whatsoever. And I think that I definitely made the right decision for me and my family and my situation. And I sincerely hope that I can breastfeed any future children that I have too. So, but that's not going to be happening for a while. So, but yeah. So I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments or anything, please feel free to leave them below. I'm quite open about these sorts of things. Like, I talk quite openly to people about that. They ask me about breastfeeding and what it's like and things, and I just tell them. I don't, there's no point in sugarcoating it because it's not going to help anybody, you know. But that's very good, darling, that's very good. He does that while he's feeding on me too, he spits and makes noise and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, if you have any questions or anything, leave them below, and I'm quite happy to talk to you guys, and if you have any questions or whatever, and such, that's cool. But I'll probably do another breastfeeding update at the 1 year mark, or when I'm sort of, when we decide to move on from breastfeeding. But for this stage, we're good. So, sorry. So yeah, that's it. So I'll get these uploaded, and I will see you guys next year. And thank you so much for watching. It has been an eventful year this year, especially the last 6 months, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Wouldn't change it for anything. Just eating my hand now, so that's nice. So I will say goodbye, and AJ will say goodbye. Say bye. Bye. Say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Have a happy holidays. Say have a happy holidays, everybody. Give a kiss. Give a kiss. Hey. Can you give them a kiss? Kisses. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye. Bye. Oh.